Hello, knockouts. Tonya TKO here. And as you know, I'm a self-love specialist from TonyaTko.com. I hope you learn how to love yourself and each other. On this channel, we use viral video topics as teachable moment. I'm sorry, you know what? It's like, we're going to talk about, I'm sorry. We're going to be talking about this picture of this guy, Michael Boyd, who took a picture with his girl or his woman or his wife or whoever. You know, I think I saw someplace that he's famous. He's some sort of athlete and that's his wife or whatever. I don't know. And to be honest, I don't care. I don't care. My heart has grown cold to stories like this of women in the damn sunken place with men who, oh God, in the sunken place with them, or at least they at a higher point in the sunken place than them. But my inbox is going crazy. I'm talking about all over Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. Even on YouTube, you all are sending and sending and sending. So I feel like I got to talk about this. I've already put up my video for the day, but you all want to hear my thoughts? Really? Are you sure you want to hear my thoughts? Because I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I realize that there are certain types of people out there who are made for one another. Their dysfunctions complement one another. And I'll say this. People who are abusive don't know that they're abusive. And the people who are being abused, sometimes they don't know that they're being abused. It's like, you know, we talked about this in the last podcast, how we gravitate towards these familiar feelings and we're looking for this healing and all this other stuff, right? In the same way that she feels a familiar feeling in this situation. And you know what? Listen, since this is a podcast, I'll put the picture up on my Instagram page. So when you all hear me talk about something that needs a picture, just go on over to the Instagram page and just look for the picture over there. If it's a viral story, many of you already seen the picture already. But with this, you know, I'm fatigued. Look, my content is not for everybody. I teach you how to love yourself and each other. However, there has to be the inkling and the desire inside of you to want to love yourself, to want better, to want to be treated like a goddess and like a queen. So in the same way that there was a familiar thing where she's looking for some healing in this relationship and she's like, oh, I'm gonna make it right this time. He also looks for a familiar feeling. You know, I talked about this before, how it's always been a fear of mine to be in in a physically abusive relationship. And I actually dated a guy who I gather after the fact that he was an abusive person. But when I was in that relationship with him, you know how sometimes sometimes you come into contact with a thing and you know that it is a lie. When I came into contact with the nonsense that this man was producing and bringing into this relationship, I knew that it was a lie. And I knew that when I looked and tried and when I looked for my reflection in this behavior, I knew that this did not reflect back who it is that I know myself to be and what it is that I know is right for me. And the relationship is like a scab that just falls off on its own. It's like it just doesn't mesh, it doesn't meld, and it's time for people to go their separate ways. This woman, oh God. You know, I can only if you look at I can only imagine what it is that she goes through on the inside of that relationship. If you look at the picture though, look at the picture. I'm going to teach you all a little bit about how to read body language in a picture. Look at the parts of their bodies that are touching. Look at the way the person is holding the other person. See whether or not they're pushing them back or pulling them in, or if their heads are touching, hearts touching, genitals touching. As you see, these two people have a heart-to-heart connection. You don't see a head-to-head connection. As a matter of fact, her head is pulled back a little bit. You don't see a good sexual connection because you see that their hips are not really aligned. It's kind of cat a corner. One leg is out. And as you see, he's pulling her in at the small of her back, as well as holding on to her forearm. So you can tell that this is a man who steers and guides this relationship. He's probably very controlling. And if you look at the look on her face, there's the look of self-consciousness floating all around her. And so this is the relationship that is reflecting back to her what she sees in herself. And like I said, abusive people don't know that they're abusive. He probably, like when he put this up, he didn't even realize, because he says, she ain't the prettiest, but she's loyal, right? Which means that he's probably reinforced to her, and he's probably said it, done it, thought it, and enacted it so much that it's just commonplace in their relationship. And for her, you can only imagine if he says this in public, what he say behind doors. You know what I mean? And obviously, she knows this or feels this to be true for herself. Otherwise, she would rebuke this relationship. And so he's reflecting, oh God, it's just, see, it's like, oh, let me try to gather up the gumption to finish out this video. All right, let's keep going forward. I'm sorry. I'm trying to care. But I don't, because it's like, this is what it is that she is choosing. She's choosing this man. She's choosing this man. And somebody sent me Kev on Stage's video where he's making a bunch of jokes about his wife and how she won't even let him post this. And that, and I've met Kev on Stage. I've met his wife, and I've seen the dynamic between their relationship. And this is like what exists in his relationship, and the reflection of him and his wife seeing one another. And look, ain't no relationship perfect. So he could stand up there and be like, oh, if my wife this, that, and the other, but I'm going to say nothing. I'm going to just move on, right? Every relationship is different. This is the relationship that she's choosing. Ever since that situation with that woman who was 9 months pregnant with twins and working up until her damn delivery day, and she had to be induced, and the husband was like, sugar butt so strong, and he was feminine as all get out, Mr. Sassy, Frassy, shaking and jiving his neck on the broadcast. Ever since that situation, and then yesterday I happened to see on Facebook somebody posting around some meme. How many of you women could even say that you worked till you were pregnant? And it was written by a man, and a bunch of black, I don't want to use profanity, but a bunch of black women came forward. Me, I work while I was pregnant. And I'm freaking fatigued. I'm over it. I'm so tired. It's like, I cannot advocate for you more than you advocate for yourself. And it's like, how the quote that's being attributed to Harriet Tubman, how she said, I freed 1,000 slaves. I would have freed 1,000 more if only they knew that they were slaves. Well, I lead people to self-love. I've led thousands of people to self-love. I would have led tens of thousands more if only they realized that the things that they were doing were not as self-loving as they could have been. And you know what? We all have blind spots. I had blind spots in my own life where I felt secure in the lap of self-love when I had money, when I was abundant, when I was on top. And when I began to live in my car, that's when I really had to reassess. A lot of the things that I had created my self-worth around were no longer there. And then I had to find a way to love myself with nothing. I had to find a way to love myself when I didn't have my organic foods, when I couldn't take care of myself, when I didn't have cushy, plush surroundings, that when everything was taken away, and I had to learn how to love myself then. That's when all of the lessons that I talk about came to fruition in my own life. And if you don't know, I have a book called The Book of Affirmations, Self-Love. And these were the affirmations that I said to get myself out of the toughest time in my life. And then, so many people made so much fun of me because I was living in my car and they were calling me homeless and all this other stuff, right? But if it had not been for that, that beautiful book would not have been born. I would not have been able to tap into that part of myself to see the blind spot, that all of the things that I had built up to be my self-care and my self-esteem were really only padding, accoutrements added on top. If you want to know how much you love yourself truly, take away everything and then love yourself then. It's like many of us, it's like we compare ourselves to the lives of other people. And we look and we see all of the wonderful things that they have. And we measure ourselves up against that because somebody is at a different point, ahead or behind. Like, this is why some of these reality shows do so well. People over there watching my 600-pound life, eating their nachos and nacho cheeses. And they feeling good about themselves. At least my life ain't that bad. And people sending me this meme. What are we supposed to say about this? This is her relationship. If anything, we can take this as an opportunity to look into our own lives and see where the spaces where we are not as loving as we could be. Where are those things inside of us? Because at the end of the day, she is not my client. She is not my audience. And if I made a video about how she needed to do better, she would probably turn around and be like, fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. Where's your man? That's what she would probably say. Fuck you, I got a husband. Meanwhile, her husband is up there on the internet saying things like this because some people, you want to say it with me? Some people would rather have a person. What? A person with a penis. Oh, as long as they got the person. Oh, with a penis. They got the penis. As long as they got the person with the penis at home. As long as they got the person, they okay. They okay. Because some people would rather have a man who would post up a picture saying she ain't the prettiest, but at least she loyal. They would rather have a person who would say something like that than to be stuck with the words and the insecurities and the hollowness going on inside of their head, where the things their self-talk echoes around inside their cabeza, where they got to be stuck with that. One of the greatest things that I gathered from college, my freshman year, I had a professor who said, listen, some of us can't even stand to be with ourselves. So we drown out the thoughts in our own mind with music, and we fill in the gaps in all of the places where we could have time to be with ourselves. We turn on the music, we turn on the distractions because we don't want to be with ourselves. And I was but 18 years old. And I listened to what this professor said and I turned off the music. This is why now if you listen and you watch my videos, there's no music in my videos. And when I'm alone, I spend time with myself. Because I'm comfortable with myself. I get to know myself. I get to hear the thoughts in my head because they may not be comfortable, but God damn it, you've got to think them. You've got to come to grips with them. So I sit there with myself in the silence and I hear the thoughts that are reverberating through my mind. And that's when I figure out and realize that there are some things that need to be worked on here and other things that need to be worked on there. And I spend time with myself, getting to know myself. Me and myself are good friends. And you know what? This is me. This is me. This is me. Because it's like I said, this woman, if I looked at her and I said, well, you know what, you need to do better, she would look at me and be like, well, where is your man? Everybody is not like me. Everybody hasn't graduated to the point that they can be in stillness and in silence. There's some people that just start going crazy because there's a lot of crazy and crazy toxicity that exists inside of some of our own minds. All of the negative self-talk, the negative self-doubt, and we sit there and we beat our, if you want to talk about an abusive relationship, this is what this man is saying out loud. For some of us, the abusive voice that we have inside of our heads say things much worse. So who knows? Who knows? You know, for some people, listen, for me, I'm able to sit in the silence and hear that voice reflect back to me in my own mind, echoing around in there. For other people, they need to be in relation with another person so that what it is that they have going on the inside is reflected from the outside. Because I remember, you know what, when I was in college, you know how you get these finals and this stuff and you I remember I was pulling all of these all-nighters, studying all night, all night, all night. And there was one particular test. I was studying all night, pulling all these all-nighters back to back to back. It was during finals, right? And when it came time for the test, would you believe my body dragged me down into sleep and I overslept. And that's when I realized that you can only skirt away from a thing for so long before it comes and gets you. So it's like we could try to cushion. We could try to turn on the music. We could try to placate ourselves with relationships. We could try to do these things. But at the end of the day, when all is said and done, the lessons that are meant for us to get in this life, it will come and find us and snatch us, because there is no skirting around your higher self. When you came here for a thing, you shall get that thing. Sooner or later, the piper must get paid, and paid he shall get. So yeah, you can't run from your lessons in this life. So with her, with you, with me, I say, let it be. Let it be. Isn't there a song that goes, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Something, 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 let it be. So yeah, let it be. That's all I can say. We have to realize that, and if not in this lifetime, then in the next lifetime. I guess I see you next lifetime. So look, either we take the time to get where it is that we need to get now, or it'll happen later. It's all about the quality of your life. What do you think the quality of this woman's life in this relationship? You know, if you see her, she's a little on the plumper side. You see him, he's plump too. He got this scraggly sailor's beard sticking out all over the place. And this is the way they rolling in the picture. He got on this tight burgundy suit and all of that. And this is who she loves. So I say, let it be. Until she comes looking and asking for help, just let her be. Let her be, let her be, let her be, let her be. Something, 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 let her be. So yeah, I'm just going to leave that one there alone, and I'm going to jump out of this video. Make sure that you go over to my website, TonyaTKO.com, and get your copy of my self-love affirmations book. I also have I also have MP3s, hypnotherapeutic MP3s to assist you in creating shifts on the inside. So like if you're ready, I'm here for you when you're ready. And I'm here for her when she's ready too. However, we got to be ready. And if you're ready to create real and lasting change in your own life, if you're ready to rewrite your subconscious programming, come to my website, TonyaTKO.com/shop, and get your items there to assist you in getting to the next level. And on that note, I'm out of here. I want to hear your thoughts below. Is this really about attacking him? No, because this is the man she chose. This is who she wants. This is who she wants. And this is the person that he chooses to be. And when all was said and done, after he started getting dragged on the internet, he realized, oh, something may be a little off about my caption. And he took his caption down. But he was dead serious about it. That's what's in his heart. And she has to open up her heart and figure out where it is that she is in her own life to be able to get something different. And on that note, I am out. Tonya TKO. Go out there and love one another, but most importantly, love yourself. And part of loving yourself is not only seeing what's going on in other people's lives and where they can quote unquote improve, but really taking the time to sit in the silence with our own lives and seeing where we can improve. And on that note, peace.